And we're back with our live election coverage here at Granbury TV. I'm joined with our district attorney, Rob Christian. And Rob, you don't have an opponent tonight for the primary, but a lot of work ahead for you. And you've been here. This is what election for you? This is the first or second or third? Or
depends on how you count. This will be my third full term. And I ran for an unexpired term back in 2002. So this will be 10 years in office. And this will be the beginning of another 4-year term for me.
One of the things we've been doing tonight is sort of as a starting place to say, explain what it is that the district attorney does.
Well, in the state of Texas, a district attorney has jurisdiction, responsibility to prosecute all felony crimes, and felony crimes are those where a person can go to the state penitentiary system if they're convicted. I'm also charged with prosecuting crimes of official misconduct, whether they're misdemeanors or felonies. I have a few other discretionary duties that I've done over the last 10 years. Also prosecute the more serious juvenile cases and also represent the state of Texas in CPS cases.
I know in Hood County we have both a district court and then we have the county court at law.
That's right.
Do you represent Hood County in both of those two courts?
No. We have in Hood County a system where we have a county attorney and a district attorney. Now, not all counties have that system. In a lot of the larger counties, for example, Tarrant County, they have what's called a criminal district, meaning that the DA in Tarrant County handles both felonies and misdemeanors, and they don't have a county attorney like we do here. The county attorney for the next 4 years will be Lori Casper. She is working right now in the DA's office, but I'll lose her at the beginning of the year. And she will be the one that will be prosecuting cases in the county court at law, those misdemeanor cases, and also probably share the duties with me of prosecuting juvenile cases and also representing the state and CPS cases.
And you know, it's how many cases on it? What's your normal caseload, I think is what I'm trying to ask you.
We indict between 25 and 30 cases a month. And so that's the new cases coming in. We probably try between 40 and 50 of those cases a year to juries. A lot of people are placed on probation. Some of that is required under the statute, especially for first-time drug offenses, those types of things. And so periodically, if people violate the conditions of their probation, we also have a pretty substantial caseload of cases where the judge is hearing allegations that people have violated their probation. So we also carry that load as well.
Now, what little bit I know about the jury process and the whole legal process, to be honest with you, right. I'm about like most every other citizen.
All right.
The only thing I know about is when you call me for jury duty.
That's right.
and I go sit in the jury room, and then I'm picked for some jury trials or not. Mm-hmm. Kind of who administers that whole process?
As I understand, well, the judges are responsible for administering that jury process once people are qualified. And actually, if you've been through that jury qualification process, you've experienced something that I never have. And as I understand it, Judge Messina and Judge Walton trade off duties qualifying those jury panels. I don't know if they do it every other week, but they have some schedule they've worked out. They qualify those panels, and then depending on the type of the case, the judge will have 48 or sometimes closer to 100 people come in, and then it's from that group of qualified jurors that the lawyers then conduct voir dire or the jury selection to pick the 12 people that will actually serve on that case.
How close on, if I watch TV,
okay,
how close are some of the TV shows to what actually happens in real life, other than the fact that Perry Mason used to get everybody all for within a 30-minute segment, but how does it go in real life?
Well, the lawyers aren't as good looking, but one thing that's different, even under the best of circumstances in Texas, from Law and Order, which I think probably is the most accurate representation as far as how cases go, rules of evidence, procedure, that sort of thing. But that case is set in New York, or that show is set in New York. And in New York, as is the case with most states, juries determine or can determine whether or not a person's guilty, But after that, if they find someone guilty, they go home, and it becomes the judge's responsibility to assess the punishment. Texas is one of a handful of states that allows juries to punish. Okay, and in that respect, we are unique. Also in Texas, the one difference is that the ranges of punishment are so much broader. I'll be trying a case next week where the range of punishment is as little as 5 years in prison up to 99 years in life in prison. So, you know, not only do the juries have the responsibility to assess punishment in Texas, they also have a lot of discretion in determining what that punishment should be. And as far as, I guess, the TV show part of it, I guess the worst show from the prosecution perspective is CSI and those types of shows. I mean, you know, where they take a scraping from underneath someone's fingernail and put it in a computer, and it comes up with your picture. You know, that is absolutely not the way it works. But I do think that people understand that that aspect of those shows is entertainment, just like you wouldn't watch House to make a medical diagnosis,
that's
right?
Right.
Okay,
that's
so
right.
so you know, so some aspects I guess are accurate and others aren't, but there's a lot of drama, you know, a lot at stake in a courtroom, and I think that's why it's so often the subject matter of dramas on TV.
Yeah. One of the things you and I have talked about many times is the grand jury. And
Right.
what is your role with respect to the grand jury, and how does the grand jury in Hood County function?
All right. There are two ways to pick a grand jury. One way is the same way that petit juries are picked, and that's the kind of jury that we talked about before we went on TV here, where you decide the guilt or innocence of a person. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's done with what we call the jury wheel. Now it's a computer. It used to actually be a wheel. My dad's a lawyer down in Meridian. I grew up in the courthouse, and they actually had a wheel thing. It was 2 pieces of plywood with hardware cloth around it to kind of form a cylinder, and you put your cards in there, and you turn it, and then the clerk would reach in and pull the cards out, and that's how the jury that panel was selected. Okay?
Really?
All right. Now we basically do the same thing, but it's all by computer. Okay. Now, grand juries can be picked that way. Most of the time they're not. Most of the time they're picked with what we call grand jury commissioners. And they're not the county commissioners that we're electing in the primary tonight, but they're 5 people that the district judge picks. And then the district judge tells those 5 grand jury commissioners to pick a slate of people to serve on the grand jury. The question people always ask me is, who do I talk to so I can get on the grand jury?
Yeah, and I think I've asked you that question.
And the answer is you can't. The judge can't tell the grand jury commissioner, hey, you know, I want you to pick this person, or I know this person is interested. It's somewhat removed from the judge in that respect. But the way it's done in Hood County and the way it's done in most counties is that the district judge picks 5 people, and then those 5 people then pick a slate, and that's how that works. And then they serve for 6 months. You've never served on grand jury, have you?
No, I haven't.
They serve for 6 months. It's usually less than a day a month. We present the cases, and in Texas, everybody that's charged with a felony crime has the right to have that case presented to a grand jury before they stand trial. And so it's an important right that we have in Texas. Again, that not all the states recognize, not all the states have. So it's in our state constitution. That's the way we do it.
That's one of the things that we're trying to hit home here on Granbury TV. I think you've noticed tonight that a lot of the things that we're doing are education nature, because so many people that move to Hood County have coming from other states, and you know, it is somewhat different in the state of Texas. There are lots of different ththings are different in the state of Texas, and we want people to be educated, and those are the programs that we're bringing here to you on Granbury TV. Rob, we're glad you're reelected, and that you'll be serving us again for a long period of time, and we thank you for coming tonight and talking with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Doug's Sports House on the historic square in Granbury is a complete hunting, fishing, motorcycle, collegiate, and golf decor shop for the sports enthusiast. Everything to decorate your room, office, garage, vehicle, and yes, even yourself. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. Doug's Sports House on the square at 120 North Crockett Street or on the web at Doug's.sportshouse.com. Doug's Sports House, where you can always have a winning season.
Shake that.
Van Griffith Kia will raise your expectations. Kia leads the industry with sophistication, safety, and the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And with a product line that is a departure from the expected. They are a proud Pirate supporter and care about the community that they live in. That's Van Griffith Kia at 4301 East Highway 377 or on the web at vgkia.com. Kia, the power to surprise.
Let's go.
Enjoy an extraordinary lifestyle with superior quality and everyday convenience right at your doorstep. Lakeside Apartments offer 1- and 2-bedroom apartments and a vast array of amenities such as pool, business center, workout room, free cable, and much more. Lakeside Apartments, 1019 Spring Ridge Circle, just moments away from anywhere you want to be in Granbury.